Well, good morning everybody, and I made it back from Viva Las Vegas in one piece. No injuries and no illnesses. Thank you very much. That's always a goal when you go on traveling. See, sometimes you go somewhere and you get a cold or you get the sniffles, and it just kind of puts a damper on your whole trip. But we stayed nice and healthy. Other than the extreme desert air heat, we were parched all the time. You couldn't ingest enough. When they always say have water with you, have water with you, because you are always parched and dry and your skin feels dry. And not here in Wisconsin. We have nice humid weather, right? A little bit too humid. So let's get it started with what we did. So we got out there on Wednesday, so we got there a day early, and time we got in a room, I think it was like 10:30. It was really super early, and I did a little teeny vlog of our room on my phone. So we did our first 2 days. We did the strip and did all of that type of stuff, and that was really fun on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we went down and got our wristbands and this and that, and then that was our vintage day, I'll say, where we went down to Fremont Street and Atomic Liquor Lounge, or Atomic Liquors, I guess it is. It's a cocktail lounge, and they're kind of steering towards kind of microbrewery specialty beers and stuff. So we went there, and then we went over to Frankie's. Had a great time. Ran into the bouncer was there from the year before, and there's a whole story about that. He was there, and we remembered him last year, and I'm sure he didn't remember us from the thousands of people that went through there. But he didn't work there anymore, but he came back just because he knew all the rockabilly people hung out there Thursday night at Viva, so he came over just kind of like, people, look. Here's the story. Now, I guess if you watch me on Facebook, you might probably already know this. But, so in the morning, you get up and kind of get going slowly for the day, and then we always like to review all the pictures. So I put my, turned my camera on, because we had a bunch on my phone also, thank goodness. And we were looking at pictures like, oh, Frankie's like, oh, it started at the end. Bam, 6 pictures. What? 6 pictures. What the hey diddle diddle? So I opened up my camera. My SD card was gone. Oh Lord. Oh, Christy was she just kind of let me roll, because she knew I was going to go like whoosh, because I had a couple vlogs on there. And they were just the ones that you saw that were on my phone, just like, here's a room. It was just a little vlog for that, because we didn't do it. I didn't do any of the vlogging other than that. And oh, I was just panicking. I thought, well, when we were at Frankie's, and it is like pitch dark in there, my battery went dead. But hey, I got my backup battery. Flicked it, and it's when you open up my camera case, this one right here, it's like a little spring thing. You hit the spring and the battery pops out. You hit the spring. So when I sprung out the battery and I got that changed, the SD card must have sprung out, and it's like so dark in there I didn't see it. And then, shut her up and whatever, rolled with it. And then the camera does have an internal memory, and it holds an X amount of just plain old pictures. And that's what was on my camera, just that. My SD card was gone. Oh, I was beside myself, I'll tell you that. So I called Frankie's, right, because they're open 24/7 out there. Called them, and they said, we'll call back after 11. And then I Facebook messaged them also, but of course I didn't hear anything then. And then I called back at 11. Sorry, ma'am, nobody turned anything in. It wasn't there. Okay. All right, so that's where we know. That was as of Friday morning. Was that Friday morning? Yes, it was a Friday. So Wednesdays and Thursdays pictures were gone. It's a story time. Oh, my coffee's not good today. I bought some, and they didn't have any on sale, and they didn't have any for a good price uptown at my little Super Value. So I just thought, I'll just buy their brand of, I tell ya, even that Folgers or Maxwell House is expensive anyway, but sometimes if they don't have a deal on it, it was like $4 or $5 more than their brand. So I thought, oh, it's not really good. I said, me and my husband just got to choke her down and get rid of it, and we'll not buy that again. You deserve a little nice tasting coffee. I had to put extra creamer in it today. So we went about our business, and so I thought, okay, it is what it is. Between Christy's phone and my phone, we could piece enough pictures together that I could kind of give you a glimpse of what our first 2 days were all about, between the strip, Fremont Atomic, Frankie's, and then Sweet Pea, Hooch and Smooch. And I had so many pictures from Frankie's and Sweet Peas that I was going to do a little Sweet Pea video and a little... It is what it is. I got over it and realized I have enough to do with this. What, is somebody going to get mad at me, or one of you going to say, you let us down. Anybody's gonna be happy with whatever pictures I can share, but it's just me, you know. And I think it was 170 some pictures that ended up being that were on there. So we did, Friday was pool party day, so we went down and did, I'm just gonna tell you everything we did. So we did the pool party, and it was 70s, but it was like 45-mile-an-hour gusting winds, and when the clouds went over, it was a little chilly. So there was some of us, I called it Midwest tough, some of us toughed it out and laid by the pool, and then if the clouds went over, put our little blankies over. But it was just nice to get a little bit of sun, get some fresh air. And there were a few people, and there was a group of girls that were down there. They were troopers. They were they did a little stroll dance, and I got pictures of that. And then Saturday was the big car show day, and we didn't go down as early as last year because the heat got to me last year, remember? But this year didn't seem as bad, and there was a little bit of a breeze. But for the girls that were doing the fancy schmancy hairs, I felt bad for because, and I didn't. I just did whatever I did and stuck a flower in my hair and sprayed it, and off I went because I thought it's so windy, it's not going to stay unless you do like the, you know, nothing's good, the Titanic in and move that hair. But I didn't do that. So that was car show day, and then I was gonna set my hair, and I thought on Friday night, I want to sleep good, you know, and you just don't get the same night of sleep with your curlers and girdles, you know, as you do otherwise. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I washed my hair and put setting stuff in it before I went to bed and dried it. And then I did a curling iron set, you know, where you do like, you're doing a regular wet set, but you just use your curling iron, put your little bobby pins or pin curl clips in, and then, you know, spray her down again and let it set and cool down for like a half hour. And that did just fine for the next 2 days that I used it. So we did the car show, which was really fun, and I think they said they had between 800 and 1,000, and don't quote me, and that might be wrong, I might have made that number up. But it was fun because then they had a little group of little, so all the vendors were out there, and Jennifer from A Vintage Vanic / Atomic Starlet was there, and Jael from Modern Retro Girl. And gal, oh my god, why do I always mess it up in my head? Because some are girls and some are gals. And then Colleen wasn't quite down there, she's still up in the room, and she has, I think it's called Mad Cat Apothecary, and she does soaps and stuff. She has a little Etsy shop too, and so she wasn't there, but she was being represented, so you got to meet them, and we ran into those girls several times and said, hey, how you doing, and having fun. It was fun to see them. And they gave a little gift bag, and I am going to do a little, this is what I got at Viva Hall, a itty bitty one, because I didn't get a lot. And if you saw my pictures, you saw that I had one little splurge dress. Oh lordy lordy, I don't think I've ever spent that much on a dress before, ever, other than maybe my wedding dress, but I don't know if I spent that. Yeah, probably. But when you see the print, and for us girls who are, you know, and if you're above a size 14 or above that for vintage clothing, it's hard to find the cute kitschy prints, or it's hard to find pretty much anything. And I think, you know, back then when you were a smaller size, you had more variety of clothing to purchase or buy, or girls maybe even made, than we have now. We have lots and lots of 14 plus sizes that you can find all over the place, and they cater to, you know, larger sizes now. And back then I think it was a smaller amount that you could get, so I think one, that's why it's harder to find things in the larger sizes, and two, I think those girls, if they did buy something, it might have cost them more, or it was more fabric, and fabric costs more, so they had a small amount that they purchased, and they kept them, and they wore them and wore them, until they wore out, where maybe the smaller size gals just bought more stuff and didn't wear as much. I don't know, I'm making that out too. So anyway, I'm sorry if my throat sounds, and I'm not sick per se, I have wicked allergies. I came back, I thought, gosh, why am I feeling so punky? Because we didn't do too much. We had a couple cocktails. We did our heavy cocktailing on Wednesday and Thursday night, and the rest of the time we did maybe a couple cocktails here or there, but not, you know, not like the heavy cocktailing we did like we did the first 2 nights. So I should have felt fine, and I thought, why do I feel so awful and run down and punky? And allergies. That's why I'm a little bit hoarse. I take Zyrtec, and I've been taking 2 of them every day, and cough drops, and it's just the allergies. Yesterday was gorgeous here, and a little humid, and then today it rained today, and they don't seem to be as bad today. Whatever is like flying around the air is smushed down because of the rain, so it's not flying in our air and we're inhaling it. Allergy time of year. So anyway, as I was saying, car show on Saturday, and then Saturday night we just bebopped around and ran into people and talked to people. And then some people said, oh, I saw your note about your SD card. I'm so, or you know, you ran into them, and oh, all those people. I know. So I would I'm like, great, thanks for telling me. And I retook pictures of them and that we saw at Frankie's, but I lost the pictures and stuff. And then it's fun because people remember, cause you know me, I'm the yuck yuck yuck, and I would like everybody seeing everybody's pictures and talking to everybody. So people would go, "Hey, vintage gal," or they would say, "Hey, Mary." They remembered it. And Chrissy's like, "How many people did you talk to those nights that we went out?" A lot. I'm a chit chatter talker. Part of it, genetics. My dad was just like I am. He was Mr. Talker Schmoozer, and both my boys are that way too. Feel very comfortable in any situation. And I can remember going up north, and my son just being a little grade schooler age. He'd go down to the tavern to get his, beef jerky or whatever, and he'd sit down there with Bob, who was in his 70s at the time. He'd sit down and have a soda. Nobody else would be in there, so, it was okay if he was in there. Nope, it would be in the afternoon. So I think he'd sit down there. I said, "What took you so long?" "Well, me and Bob were talking about," that was from when he was very young, so that's pretty. So we were a family of talkers, and it doesn't matter situations. I can get to talk to anybody anytime, with cocktails. Thank you very much. But when you get a couple cocktails, a little more talkative. So we did that, and then Sunday we decided to get out of Dodge. We last year went to the big Tiki Sunday pool party, and we knew it was going to be busier because not only the girl swimsuit contest, vintage swimsuits, but the guys were switched to Sunday also because the wind was so bad they didn't even let any bands or anything up on the stage. So it was just DJ music, but that was fine. It was really good DJ music. The surfing stuff. So I thought if it was packed last year and people didn't get to hang out at the pool Friday, I can't even imagine what Sunday is going to be. Not only you got 2 contests, you have everybody who couldn't hang out at the pool Friday, other than us tough people. And when we went last year, it was like you had to find if you didn't get there super early, you were lucky to find a little stone to sit on in the corner. There's and the pool was packed, and I like people and I like being out with people, but when it's jam-packed, shoulder to shoulder, that much of a crowd, let's not do it. So we went up to Red Rock Canyon and we were going to buy the tour, and the guy said, "Well, if one of you would be willing to drive, it'd be cheaper," and it was half the cost. 2 tours would have cost us almost $200. We could rent a car and stuff, and it was $100, and I wasn't going to drive. Chrissy goes, "I'll drive." So it was like maybe 16 miles to get out to Red Rock Canyon, and then it was a lovely drive, really easy drive. There's one main road that and you can get off, and there's hiking trails, and there's off-road trails, and there's horse trails. And did that and stopped at a little touristy, oh Lord, I can't remember, and it's on one of my things, something Springs. It was a little touristy, westerny town. That was really, and we had lunch there, and that was packed to the max. They said, well, not only tourists, he said, it's busy because it's Sunday, so the locals are up for Sunday dinner, because food was really good. Had a veggie burger. It was delicious. And did that, and then the last night was bebopping around. So I did buy 3 things. And then I bought a long dress, and then my cute little kitschy dress, which I just love, and then a pair of earrings. And I think that's about it. And a few little, my freebie grabs that I'll put in my haul, because they count, I don't care. So that was our whole rockabilly weekend. And we've got our vintage camper rally coming up this summer, and then we've got 10 confirmed campers. And you're like, that isn't very many. Oh, it's our very first year, so that's pretty good. And that's all the spots we had reserved. So next year we're gonna have to get on the whatever what that saying is. I can't think of it. Get on it and reserve more than just those 10 and see how that goes. And then my husband can never go to anything because he can't get off work or anything. So I found it's called Mississippi Mayhem, and it's down in La Crosse, which is less than 2 hours away, and it is a rockabilly weekender. It's like a little smaller one, but the same kind of vibe. It's a car show, and the cars and vehicles, and they're going for more of a different vibe with it. So the vehicles that are there for show have to be 1964 or younger. Is that the way? Or older? Before 1964. And then there's the vintage camper section, but that's called the featured campers, but there's certain guidelines with that, and ours is a 71. So somebody messaged me on there and said that usually the cutoff is 70, but if your camper has the aesthetic that they're looking for, well, ours is completely vintage. Nothing has been updated or changed or modernized. in our camper whatsoever. So we have that coming up in the fall. And then when Christy got Chicago, that's coming up in the fall too. So we got lots of stuff going. I want to get up to my lake place, but I can't. Why can't you? Well, I'll tell you. Usually, if the weather is really nice, they'll open up mid-April, and most camping resorts do open up mid-April, unless it's extremely cold and the white lines are, but sometimes they'll open and say, but there's no water yet. You know, but you got electricity, so if you want to come in, tough it and get started. So we were like, oh my gosh, this will be the first year we can go up mid-April and we'll have water and electricity, and it'll be nice, and we can get a jump on this season, so when May hits, we're ready to roll and we're not working on the camper. Well, I don't know what the scoop is up at the resort, but that was not the case with anything this year, even though our weather has been fantastic and the ice has been out of the lake, you know, for like I think 3 weeks up there now, and nothing's froze, so I'm not sure what's going on. This is the people that are managing it, this is their last year of lease. The people have it up, the family who owns it, because the fella Bob passed away a few years back, have it up on the market for sale. So I'm not quite sure what the vibe is going on up there with it. It's kind of sad. I feel really bad because, you know, we're thinking this might be our last year and that we can't even get up there like we have in past years. Like I said, unless it's been cold, but usually mid-April they're saying, come on up, the water's not on, but you got electricity, so you can get a jump on it. You can kind of see everybody in the bar usually is open. Some kind of puppies are in here. I don't know why they keep trying to make a nest. They only do it in here. I don't know what they're up to. So anyway, and I'm sorry if it's kind of dim in here. It's because there's no sunshine outside, and I don't have any external light boxes of any. It's just Mother Nature. That's my lighting devices. So I'm kind of bummed out that we can't get up there because it might be the last year. And we've been saying that for, I think, since Bob passed away, that this might be the last year. But when it's up for sale, and then your park isn't opening up kind of like it usually does in the spring, and you get kind of a vibe that maybe, I don't know what's going on up there. I kind of feel sad. This will be the last year for sure, and then so I have to have somewhere else to go. So I have my eyes out on a couple other resorts, that one's a little closer, one's a little farther away. So I'm kind of bummed out about my camper up north. We've been going up there. My parents started going up there, so our family's been going up there with my parents' camper since I think we figured 95. So quite a few years, and they had their first camper and another camper, and then I came along, and my brother Dean came along, and Donnie and my nephew Rich, and you know, so it's been kind of a place in our family and warm to our hearts, and we know everybody up there, and some of them are people that I grew up with at a little place called Rock Ellum. So a lot of the family members who are running it are from our childhood, and so it's kind of an end of an era for us up there, and it kind of feels sad, and you'd kind of like to have your last year to go out on a high note and happy, and you know, it's sad and it is what it is, but you know, enjoy what you can of it, you know, in anything in your life. You know, it's always sad to see things come to an end, but don't let a sad ending like that wreck your last chance of fun or happiness or gathering that you can have up there. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. And maybe when they posted that, maybe it was that, you know, maybe that's part of the problem, or maybe they're the people that managing it are receiving outside pressures of some sort that we don't know about, or maybe it's an insurance issue, maybe it's a lease issue, who knows what it is, but it's just kind of sad we couldn't get the jump like we usually do this year, because it kind of takes, time you get up there, it takes almost a whole month off of it, and last year they kind of rolled up the carpets a little earlier than we were expecting, so my camera was making funny noise, and I'm like, oh Lord, did I do one of those? I've been sitting here talking to you for 25 minutes without my camera on, but it wasn't. I don't know, it was just beeping. Maybe it was a warning, like, time's up, Mary, be quiet. So we're going to bring the vintage camper over next weekend, and then the next weekend we can do, and that will be Mother's Day weekend, which is a good motivator, because I can say, hey, you know, it's a great Mother's Day present, boys. Come on up to the lake, and we're going to do the open up cleanup. And I tell you, and I've done it by myself many times over the years, and it will take me a good whole day for the interior, the exterior, doing everything that I need to do, sitting all the critter traps to get any varmints that have made home in there out. And it will be me and one or both of my sons, I'm not quite sure, and it didn't work for my husband because he was planning to do it one weekend and he took that off, and it won't work now. So anyway, and my nephew. So with everybody up there, and everybody, you know, you got 3 to 4 people working, we'll be able to get her in there, do some basic stuff when we get there Friday. You know, varmint check-in, because I don't like to sleep and then there's some varmints, whatever, and all the linens out and all that type of stuff. And then Saturday, within a matter of a couple hours, we'll have it all cleaned up and ready to roll for the whole season. So that's one nice thing. Not one nice thing, I guess, that we're opening up late, but we'll get her all done, and it will be like, we will powerhouse that. So that will be very enjoyable. And then my brother Dean has to get his pontoon in the water, and that entails, because there's no landing, or there might be, I don't know what's going on up there. We have to go around the lake with it, put it in, and to drive it over to the docks. If the docks are in. Hope they got the docks, and I don't know, like I said, we'll see what's going on up there. So that's what's going on with me. I will be having coffee with you next weekend for sure, because I will be at home, because the next weekend I'll be up at the lake, which I do coffees up there too. But I tell you, the lighting is so bad up there, and it looks like I'm tired because it's so dark. I'm like, does that girl sleeping up north? Yeah, I'm sleeping. It's just that. And I tell you what, we not learned through all this type of stuff and being out and about and photos and stuff, when they talk about lighting is everything. It is, I'll tell you what, because if you don't have really good lighting, it ages you, it makes you look poorly, it makes you look like you haven't got any sleep because you get shadows there, and I don't know what kind of shadows I'm going to have with no light today, but it is what it is. So everybody have a good week, and I think I'm going to do my little Viva haul, because I'll just, since I yacked at you all morning, and gave you the recap of everything. Oh my Lord, I almost forgot to tell you the whole story of Viva and stuff. So then we get back. Sorry, I got off rambling about something else. I will tell you. So then we thought we had lost this SD card. And I get home and I get a message from this guy saying, hello, me and my wife were at Frankie's that night, and she was changing her SD battery card, in her phone or camera or whatever it was. And so he goes, we were leaving, so I was picking everything up. Get home, put the SD card in their computer to look at the pictures, and it's like, it's me. They picked up my SD card, and it was nice. They could have just chucked it out, throw it out, because Frankie said they didn't have it and they didn't find it. So I'm like, it's a done deal. It's gone. Somebody just threw it out. It's a little teeny black card, and I don't blame, because you imagine what they usually find at their place at closing or whenever they clean. So he found it, and he says, I will be happy to, can't remember how he said it, but send you the pictures, not the SD card. He wasn't going to mail it to me. Put it in my son said in a cloud or in a whatever, and then I could download it, which I did. And he's from Finland. Finland of all places. Can you believe that?